Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Friday, August 12th, and starting with the 10-year yields here. We're pushing up. It looks like we've got the ABC pattern in here already because we've pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level here, I think. Yeah, beyond that, so that should just push up there. I know in Australia with the shorter yield curves at 2 years, they're already pushing just above 3%, so I'm sure we'll see that push up there higher. Regarding the US dollar, we know that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. I just don't know if we've got a top in place. It looks like there's a good case for it, but the move down here is just not clear enough for me to put. I mean, it's normal for a market to go above the 10 there and pull down. If it does pull down here, then we can look at the indices, the S&P 500, having a bullish move into it. So the S&P 500 so far here, this is, I was hoping the US dollar would clean up so I could understand this a bit better, but we can have this here as an A and a B and a C wave here for the US dollar, for the S&P 500, and then we can just continue to move up. So the bullish case from the low here on this, because this is what I'm trying to clean up on the dollar. So let's just go to I think it's 10k here. It would be like this here. This would be the push up here. So 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave. So I won't know until these 5 waves are over and it pulls back to the to this level here and then pushes up. So this would be the bullish pattern all the way up for 1 and 2. Now would need a high in for the US dollar at that point. You know, would need a top in for the US dollar. If we don't get a top in for the US dollar, then coming back to the daily chart here for a moment, if we don't get a top in here and we're going to push up here in 2 more waves up here, then the problem over here for the S&P, and this is for, you know, currencies as well, so that means it would have this as an A wave, a B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for finishing off here, coming up say to 4, 3 here on Friday and Monday for the A wave, and then a deeper pullback for the B wave, and then the C wave up here to make a larger B wave, and then we come down here for the C wave here. So I won't know until this 5 wave sequence finishes roughly up to the 4-3 area here, and then I still won't know why it's pulling back down. Now if it pulls back down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree around the 4,100 and then pushes up there into the wave 5, then I'll know that we're in a bullish mode. It will be in a bigger bullish picture at that point. I'll know the US dollar will be turning down at that point, and so on. But if we get a deeper pull down to wave B here, then we're going to get another high in the US dollar, and that's the gist of it all really across the board. So we can go in here to the 2k tick and just sort of check on this a little bit. There's some things I know and some things I don't know with this, and it's a little bit tricky. So it was going okay until we got this little move here, which has got overlapping wave structures, and that's like really chucked a spanner in the works, because do we see that as being a corrective wave structure? Do we start looking at this as a WXY and so on? In the meantime, we know we've got 5 waves here, 1 and 2 and 3 here. We haven't made a new low here, so I'm just assuming this is some sort of ABC pattern. We'll come down lower here again, and we've got a short on here at the moment, so we can take profit down here on anything below this wave 3 here. Then we just have to wait. If we get an ABC back here, we can short the B wave here, an A, B, and C. We can short the B wave, and then we'll come down for 3, 4, 5, and then we're probably bearish at that point on that, and then probably bullish on the S&P and the other indices, and so on. And that's going to make a difference to you know, to the rest of the world. If we just have a quick look around the block here at the sectors, this is the finance sector here. So we can look at the finance sector as, you know, the banks as well, we can look at it as an ABC down here and have an alternative C wave here. And if that's the case, then we need to start counting 5 waves up here, which is not looking that good so far. I mean, we're getting a nice third wave in here. But if we get the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave, then we're going to come down for another leg here. So we still need to see if we get 5 waves up in that in that instance. And for another sector here, the energy sector, it's the same as well. I have rejigged this a little bit, so we can count this down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bit. Anyway, I won't comment too much about that, but an A and a B and a C. So this will top out. This can top out with the stock market next week. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this is really important for crude oil and energy, in all the energy, gas and oil and all the rest of it as well. So can we look at this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here? I don't know yet. So we'll see how it sits up at the up this level here. But we need to go past this 5-wave structure here first. Anything beyond that, and then we can turn bullish, which is important for the oil sector, and we can come back to that when we look at what's this one here. The Amazons and Teslas are consumers and so on. It's the same story again right across the board. So I was hoping the US dollar would clean things up a little bit, because as it stands at the moment, we're looking for another move up here to top this out here, and that will be C of A at that point. Okay, now if we're going to be bullish about this, we'll count that as 1 and 2 here, and 5 waves up here for 3, and then we'd have 4 and 5 up here for wave 1, and then we'd have an A and a B and a C wave here. So we'll know soon if we're going to be going into a big bullish move up here, or we're going to be coming down deeper for the B wave, then the C wave, and then coming down over here for that. So they're the two patterns that we're monitoring through through all the markets, and we'll just continue to have a look at the rest of the sectors very quickly, because folks will be having different interests in different things. The tech sector here, so same thing again here. We can look at this as 1 and 2 in here, and then going up for 3, 4, 5 to get wave 1 up here. This will be a wave 4 pullback, and then wave 5 up here for that, or we're going to pull back deeper into a B wave. So we'll know soon. Later next week, we'll get some idea of, are we going to be bullish, or are we going to be in the B wave and then the C wave and the B wave and down, or are we going up for 1 and 2 and then going up further at that point? So as the same as I mentioned for the S&P 500 in that regard. But it's just sort of interesting to have a look at the different sectors as well. Some have moved up higher, some are a bit lower. It's the same for the industrials here as well. Do we look at this as 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the finishing off up here to the 100 for the A wave, and do we pull back to the deep for the B wave here and then go to the C wave of B and then go down? Or are we going to get 1, 2, 3 here, pull down back down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or 38.2%, and then push up for wave 1? Because once we know what we've got here, the difference between these two across the market, then we can move into the markets with a bit more confidence, and hopefully they're wave 1 to the upside. I mean, that would be just absolutely fantastic. This is the healthcare sector here. This is looking, I mean, even though we've got a clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A, B and C here, I know that the whole move down here is not it's not the end of the world stuff, you know what I mean? Because we're in 3 waves, we're in a corrective pattern. The question is do we look at this as all an ABC for the A wave, a B wave and a C wave? Now in this case here, this is really struggling up here. If that's 5 waves up here, as a third wave here, this is looking pretty useless, isn't it? So the B wave in this case is looking better. Just when you thought, looking at the other markets, the big bullish picture was much better, So different sectors doing different things, but they'll all pull into each other. That's the thing that we need to understand. So it's kind of getting an idea about things. Once again, for the mining, we've got a nice clean ABC here. But do we move up here for the A wave, and then come back for the B wave, and then up for the C wave for the bigger B here, and then down for the C? Or are we going to continue to push up for 5 waves up here, and then come back as an ABC for 2, and then push up into here. So we won't know until we start looking at this being a pullback as a wave 4, wave 5. So the rest of this week we need to be pushing further up into all of these. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I would go around the block and have a bit of a general look at those things. Now, moving over to the gold side of things as well. So it is looking quite good here. We've had, you know, copper's got the same picture of this, and we'll have a closer look at copper today as well, but in the bigger picture that is, and and tie that into the emerging markets, because copper is the thing that's used in everything, so it's kind of central to everything, and it has a relationship with gold as well. You've got the copper gold ratio thing, index, but yeah, all said and done here, it looks like a nice sort of A, B and C wave over here. Different platforms might have different prices here in terms of, was that the high or was that the high here? If that's the high here, can we put wave 4 over here, for instance, and put wave 5 over here and have a top in here? And is this wave 1 here, and we go back for wave 2 and we go down for 3, 4 and 5 and go down? Don't think so, but it's always good to have a look at these sorts of things, of course. And at the moment it counts quite nicely down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now, GDX, which I won't look at today, doesn't count down nicely like this. And you can see that in Barrick Gold and Newcrest Mining, some of the bigger ones. So the gold stocks can be split up into two basic parts, really. This looks like it's got 5 waves here. So a lot of the stocks that you're looking at, some will be pushing up and following this move up here, and when it pulls back for wave 2, it will go to the upside after that. Now, a lot of other stocks that haven't climbed as high here, like Newcrest Mining, and I think we could just use that as an example if I can find it here quickly. You can see that, because it's Australia's biggest gold mine, it hasn't pushed up. So what it will do when this pulls back here for wave 2 here, a lot of gold stocks will pull back for wave 2 and then go up. But why that's pulling back there, you need to understand a lot of gold stocks will actually make a new low here, and GDX can do the same. So just be a little bit mindful of that situation. So you'll need to work out, is your gold stock look like this, or does your gold stock, you know, power to the upside here, much further in line with US spot gold? So from here we can just look at this. I think we'll go to I haven't seen the daily chart for a while. So yeah, this will be the daily chart here. We're getting 5 waves up here, so we can just, in a bit of a nutshell, bring this back a little bit here with the 50-60%. So we could, you know, got to stick the flag in the ground somewhere, and will we reach that flag's another question. But in a nutshell, on this page here, we're looking for wave 1 and 2 here, and then a move to the upside. So we'll look at this. When this does pull back here, it'll be in 3 waves. And in that 3 waves here, the safe trade will be trading across the wave B top, but otherwise we can start building in as soon as we get the first little impulse wave here, and we can use the trading levels to build on support, tested support and so on in that space. So looking at this move to the upside here in a bit more detail, go to 5k tick here just to get it nice and sort of clear. And the thing here is that I'm not quite sure, I haven't had time to sort of ponder this here, but we've got a nice wave 1 here, so that's secure. Wave 2, wave 3 is kind of nice. Wave 4 here, I don't know if we need to put wave 4 here, or we put wave 4 here, where we've got this as a 3, an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4, and then we call the top in here and put wave 1 here. And that means that we're starting on our journey back down as wave 2 from this current top here, and that way we can look at the 50-60% retracement level there for that. So I don't know if that's the case, and in a way it doesn't really matter if this is the other way we can count this, if we put wave 4 here, then we look at this as wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here as an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, and then we go up for wave 5, and we have, we can look at this on another chart, but have wave 5 sitting up here, and then we come down for the ABC pattern over here for this, which would probably just come back to the 1750 would be the buying area for that. So there's two ways I could view all this. Which way's correct? I really don't know at this point. I haven't, as I mentioned, haven't had time to ponder it. But I also can say too that it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't be trading around this particular number 18 here. So it's, you know, 1, 5, 8, and then 3. So 8 is the third strongest number. So you would trade to that number and you'd get out and then you wait for the setup. If you make money in the trend and you start trading around a large number, you're just going to lose your money. So there's a good case for this being in top here, and the reason for that, I'll just cut through to silver here. We've got here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so it looks like we've got a bit of a top in there. We can come back to that, so that might sort of relate to here, but we'll see what Friday delivers. Yeah, we'll know very shortly with this situation. So this wave 1 up here, I think we've got on the 10k tick chart that we're following it. Maybe I've changed it. No, I haven't changed it. So this is our sort of effort to the upside here. So if this is the case here, then we'll look for wave 1 up here, 5, 1, 5, 5 of 1 up into this space. Yeah, we've got overlapping wave structures between 4 and 8, but that's the kind of thing that happens at big numbers, and probably 18 doesn't mean much to you. You probably think, well, what's the difference between 17 and 19, you know? So, I mean, I understand that, but I understand it from my perspective. So I'll leave it at that. We'll just wait, because this is the trend up. We want this main trend to be corrected, and then we want to be moving in on that side of the fence. Currently we're on the wrong side. We don't want to be involved in the markets around here. This is when we talk about 18, we look at group 1 above, 10, 20, and 30, and then group 2 below. That's the swing range. Whatever you do when the market first arrives up here and starts swinging in this space here, that's where you'll lose money. So you just need to understand how far it can swing within this group 1, group 2 range. And every number has got a group 1 and group 2. It's just degrees of structure. That's all 1, 2, 3. So you could be looking at 30 here. So above 30 would be 31, 32, and 33, and then group 2 below. That would be its swing range. So, but anyway, we'll just let it be here. We'll just leave it for the time being. Nothing to see here at the moment. Yeah, so with silver here, we were looking at a move going up here, and that's sort of been there for a little bit. So we're waiting for it to pull back. So I'm not really going to worry about looking in here today. When it pulls back here, then we can look at it. So I think we're on the right track, unless we've made a mistake and we've got wave 1 to here and wave 2 to here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, a fourth wave, and a fifth wave. Either way, it's not going too far until we get this wave 2 back. We'll catch this one here, and that's what we'll be looking at. But yeah, anyway, nice and positive for the current situation. So the energy sector, the crude oil here, we've got the A wave, the B wave, and we can count it down as 1 and 2 and count it down to being completed here. But I just don't trust it yet, because it should work with the stock market, and we don't know with the stock market yet if we've got that bigger bullish move at this point. You know, we've got two ways to look at, like I talked about with all the sectors. You know, we've got a big ABC to the upside, and if I bring the energy sector back across here for a moment, we've either got this here as the A, the B, and the C here, and from here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish off here, and then it can turn down. Anything above 5 waves here, then we can be long, we can be bullish at that point, and then we can look at the markets being, you know, bullish, and we could look to a wave 1 at this point. But we're not there. I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied yet that we've got a low in place here. It's possible, of course. and plausible, but I don't know if it's probable at this stage. So yeah, but it does count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as a low in place here. Getting support on this number here would help me with it. The current move off the low here, I suppose it looks all right, but it looks a bit more corrective to me. I mean, I can see we've got this move with the ABC pattern here for that, and then we've got this. I suppose we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, and then the ABC for 2. So it's moving off quite nicely. Yeah, I just have to watch it for a little bit. I don't really want to call, I don't want to say that's the low here. I mean, it's possible and plausible, but I still got another count that could bring us down further for this. So I'm just going to wait on that. And natural gas is whipped my ass. It's given me a hard time, and I haven't really been clear on the count. So this is where we were last time we were speaking. We're looking at this as possible wave 1 here with an ABC back for wave 2. But obviously this B and C need to go over here now for this. So this becomes the A wave over here. Unfortunately, the B wave here and the C wave over here for this. We do have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here now for this, so we'll see. I'll just move these out of the way. So yes, I haven't done very well in this particular market, so apologies about that. It's just been very volatile, and I haven't really been able to figure it out. It's a little bit like the US dollar in a way. It's chucked a couple of wobblies or spanners in the works, and then when it does that, the count could be a couple of things at this point. So I mean, at this stage, it could be down that we have this for an A wave here and a B wave here, so to speak, and a C wave down to here, and we can look at this as being wave 1 to the upside. I mean, that's all possible. We have an ABC back here as well. So this can be, we've had this as the alternative low of wave 4 here. So that might need to come into play, but I still won't know that yet until all this finishes off over here for this. So I still can't do much with this either, so I'll just have to be a little bit careful about what I'm better off saying I don't know at this point. And yeah, but we did have it here at, this was the 50-60% retracement level here, right? So from this move down to here, so anything above that as a classic trading levels pattern should have been the long trade anyway. So you should if you sort of know what we do a little bit, this is basically where you should be long at this point, or at least be out of the short and then turning long at this point. So anyway, now this moves so quickly here, we have to wait for this to this 5-wave structure up here to finish off. So it looks like we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in here, or an ABC, but still that's wave 1 and 2 to here. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this has given us 5 waves up, so we'll probably end up with some sort of at least an ABC pattern coming into play here for this, but I don't know if we go up from that point, but that would be the long trade at that point. But we could also start to work down here. So if we do get 5 waves down, we have to wait for those to play out, and then we'll look for the ABC pattern here, and then we can look for the short trade. We can get better positions than that, but they're the two configurations that would play out at that point. Over to the copper. So we've been tracking copper to the upside, but really it's got the same pattern as gold to the upside here, hasn't it? So we know that gold's just about ready to turn and will probably give us an ABC pattern, and that's where we'll probably have to look to be long here again at this point. So we'll see how that goes. So we could count this as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. It doesn't count it counts better the way that I've got it, but you've got to be careful about things, and you got to kind of bring things in together with other things. It's a bit more important sometimes to do that. So we'll probably need to look at this like this, and I'm going to have a look at the bigger picture now. So when we have a look at so this could be up for 1 and back for 2 here now, okay? So this is what we've got to figure out, because we definitely want to catch that move to the upside if that's going to be the case. So we want to, first of all, bring gold back up. So where's US spot gold? Right in front of my eyes. So we want to go to the daily chart here, because see, when we look at gold here, this top here, it's this trend down here. They're basically, copper's basically got the same top here. I mean, there'll be a few days out and there'll be a few days out on the low, but we've got this nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. When we look at copper for that situation, then we'll put copper onto the daily chart to start with. So it's the same pattern here. But if I count this down, I'll put this over here, and then we'll put gold here for a moment. So we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, right? So we've got this 1, 2, we could go 3, 4, and then down for 5 here. But this wave 4 here pulled back like 50, 60% rather than 38.2%, and it also overlaps wave 1. So that's been my problem with it. But do we suck that up and say to ourselves, well, yeah, no, Pete, we'll have to treat that the same as gold. Do we do that, or do we don't do that? Do we break Elliott rules and and be a bit more philosophical about it? We're at, as a wave 4 here, we're at our 38. If I counted this properly, it would be wave 1 here, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, and 3 down here, and 4 here at 38.2% retracement level. So where we are here, when you have big moves like that, it's okay for it to come back to 40% and even 50%. And when you've got a close large number, it can come back pretty close to that as well. So I could give it until mid next week to finish this off here, but it's going to come back in 3 waves in line with gold anyway. So we'll just watch that, and we'll start to compare it to gold, and we'll need to be long here. So we may need to call this low in here as wave 5 as 3, 4, 5 of C of 2, rather than coming down here for 3, 4, and 5 here, because it'll be too far out of whack. It's also pulled back to the 61.8% at that point. So let me just go to the weekly chart. Is that okay? Or even a monthly? I might just bring a bit more data in here for that, if that's okay. Let me just see, what have we got here? Okay, so now we're coming back here. This is copper, and this is US high grade copper, but the London's the bigger market, but it's the same. It's all the same. It's all the same pattern, and we're looking at it as an A, B, C, D, and E here, and then up for 1 and back for 2 here. And this particular pattern here, because it's central to the whole world, we'll see that in emerging markets as well. So let me just move this out of the way. So this is Vanguard's emerging markets here. These countries here. These are the dudes that make up that, but also the A, B, C, D, and E here, and pretty much the same top over here for our copper as well here. So using this as the top here, the A, the B, and the C for wave 2. And this date here, much the same as this date over here, and this low's pulled back to it, 61.8%. So I need still to confirm that, but we've got this here as the A, the B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for the low here. So I'm just watching this, observing this move up here. If we get 5 waves up here, then we could be on our way up here, and we'll see that move up into wave 3. I know that's pretty astounding as the world's crumbling in front of us, and but like I say, you always get the opposite of what you're thinking in the markets. And the same here. So all we can do is just by increments, and this move up here, if we line that up with gold, in the same, this is gold here, we just line it up with this wave 1 being here, or there may be another wave 1 up here with gold, and then we'll bring it back for wave 2, or then we'll do the same with copper. And then we'll try to find out what the US dollar is and all the rest of it at that point. So that's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. So there's more work to be done. There's just back on the daily chart here, but yeah, we'll try to figure that as wave 1 and wave 2 here. So if there's going to be a big move up here, be assured we're going to be surfing that sucker up there, no worries. So that's just that. So it's just good to look around the block to see what the world is doing. That's all. That's the reason for that. But it's same sort of pattern. This is the ETF here if you're interested in it, because the same thing applies here as well. It's like, do we have a low in here? We know that it's pulled back to the 61.8% for the emerging markets and for LME copper and US copper. But is this 5 waves here? It looks pretty good as 5 waves, doesn't it? Little wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So we just need to allow that to finish off, and we just need that ABC pattern here, and then we can go long above that. That will be it. It'll be that simple. If that is a wave 4 here, then this is not going to be triggered here. This is just going to continue down at that point. That's the beauty of the B wave, because it will be wave 2 on the bear market, B wave for the bull market, and a wave 2 for the bear market. So we'll just see how that plays out. We'll just keep focused on this. So these, when we look at trade setups, we see them early like this, and then they unfold, and sometimes they trigger and they pan out, and other times they don't, but if we approach them right, the trick is not to lose your shirt. Okay, so is that it? Yeah, that's all it. So I just want to put these back. So, okay, I'll leave everything at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.